I would like to share with you an experience of my own, which will explain why I've chosen to focus on this area, because I think all of us could do more to make things happen for ourselves, rather than just allowing things to happen around us. So I'm calling this an audacious goal, because for me it was a little bit out of the ordinary. I went to a concert in the Barossa Valley, one of those day on the green affairs, outdoor concert, beautiful summer weather. The artist was Diana Krall, beautiful pianist, singer from Canada. And it was there that I bought Diana Krall's DVD of her concert in Rio de Janeiro. I brought it home and I put it on the table next to the television. And the following Saturday, I had a couple of hours to myself. Everyone was out of the house, had a couple of hours to spare. So I decided I'm going to watch the DVD. Ripped off the cellophane, whacked the thing into the machine, sat on the couch, pressed play, prepared to relax. The video starts with beautiful footage of Rio de Janeiro, bird song, lush forests, Diana drifting along the beach, Diana wandering through the rainforest in a floaty dress. Cut to the theatre, little round tables with candles and cocktails, well-heeled patrons. Diana comes onto the stage. She takes her place at the grand piano amongst her band alongside the big orchestra, and she commences to play. She performs a number of jazz standards and the audience applauds appreciatively. And then the next song is a Brazilian tune, and she's singing in Brazilian Portuguese. She sings the first line and the second line, and the audience holds its collective breath. And when she reaches the end of the fourth line, the whole place erupts. The roof just about lifts off. They are applauding wildly because she's singing in their language and they are loving it. At that moment, I sat up on the couch and I said, I want what she's having. I wanted to sing their music in their language, in their country. I wanted my own concert in Rio. And then the next moment I said, well, that's stupid. I'd never been to Brazil. I didn't know anybody there. I didn't speak the language. And as for singing, well, I said you should take stock of your current situation. Where are you now? Be honest about it. These boots were made for walking, and this was a music school Christmas concert. The oldest kid in the band was 12. I'd been singing in amateur rock bands, and that was about it. So who was going to come to my concert in Rio? But 6 years later, this was me, performing all my favourite Brazilian songs in their birthplace of Rio de Janeiro, accompanied by Brazilian musicians. And I say 6 years later because chronologically it was 6 years, but for the first 3 years I did nothing. I thought about it and I thought better of it. I thought about it and I said, well, that's stupid. I did nothing, I procrastinated, made no effort at all. But from the time I decided to do it to this date was 3 years. I started by breaking down the goal into its component parts. I thought about what would I need to do in order to get there. I thought, well, I would need musicians, I would need a venue, I'd need to learn the language, and I decided to start with musicians. And I realised that I did know somebody in Brazil because I had connected with somebody through the Bossa Nova fans Facebook club on Facebook. So, very conservative person I am. I went to Facebook to see if I could find a guitarist to accompany me in Rio de Janeiro. I wrote to him and I said, hello. I've been following you on Facebook. I've really enjoyed looking at your photos, and I see that you're a guitarist in Rio. I would like to do a concert in Rio and would like you to accompany me. Would you do that, please? So I anxiously waited for a response. One came in, I held my breath, hit on the message, and he said no. He said no because he didn't play the type of music that I'd described in my email, in my message. He played the music of other composers, and there didn't seem to be a match. But he said, I have a friend who would be perfect for you. His name is Audacious Goal, and here is his profile, and I suggest you look him up on YouTube and you contact him. So, had a look on YouTube. There weren't actually any bossa nova songs from him. There were one or two original compositions, it seemed. He didn't actually live in Rio de Janeiro. He didn't actually speak any English. This is him. I thought about logistics. What if I went to Brazil to try and perform with this guy? What if the music wasn't any good? What if we didn't get along? What if he didn't even turn up? And I'd have egg all over my face and it would be expensive egg. So my solution was to bring him to Australia so that we could at least meet and see how the music went. And if that was okay, then we could plan for the next stage. So, this was kind of next step, not knowing where the following one might be. This was the first night we met. I picked him up at the airport. I took him straight to a bar where there was music playing. And we tried to communicate in, he knew no English at all, Brazilian Portuguese. Long story short, the music was great between us. The chemistry was great. He invited me to come to his town and we did a show there. And then we agreed we would do a show in Rio de Janeiro. My friend Aeneas roped in a drummer friend of his. This is Junior de Cruz on the left of the photo. And we're touring Rio here in search of the home of Antonio Carlos Jobim, because Jobim, he was really the father of bossa nova. And if you don't know what bossa nova is, the song you would know is The Girl from Ipanema. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes, ah. So we found Jobim's house. We also found Jobim on the beachfront. This is the statue of him near Ipanema, and this was the show. We performed in a historic, iconic nightclub called Beco das Garrafas. It's called Bottles Alley in English. And in the 1960s, it was the top place for bossa nova artists to perform. And there's a long story as to how we actually got invited to perform there, but I almost didn't dare to inquire. I did not think that this would be the place that would book us. We've observed that growth isn't comfortable. I like to think about the idea of imposing yourself on the world and creating your own space in it, rather than just occupying the little space that the world has so far made for you. 5 ways to push beyond your comfort zone. Well, set a goal that will challenge your capabilities, because that will give you a reason. Nobody's sitting there thinking I'm too comfortable. Discomfort doesn't kill you. Discovered that numerous times in this journey, this quest. You have to be willing to do things badly before you can do them well. I sang so many so many times I sang badly and berated myself, but you've got to learn from your mistakes. Focus on how you'll feel when you've achieved the goal. And surround yourself with people who are ahead of you, because if you're mixing with people who are already doing the thing that makes you feel uncomfortable, you'll come to realise that it's a natural thing to do. So can I encourage you to consider what's your audacious goal? Are you committed? Are you determined to do it? And the red factors I'm calling mindset factors. Because as I've found, the secret sauce is commitment. And when you're committed, all kinds of coincidences occur. You're attuned to opportunities and you'll find ways to move forward. You may be wondering, what happened to make me committed to my goal? Well, this was me 3 years before I achieved my goal. Unexpectedly, I had to undergo open heart surgery. Between the diagnosis and the operation was about 1 month, came completely out of the blue. I had a prolapsed mitral valve. The valve controls the flow of blood between the left and right sides of the heart, and if it starts to flow the wrong way, the heart swells and basically you die. The surgeon looked at me across the desk and said, "I must inform you of the risks of this procedure. There are 3 main ones, the 3 big risks: heart attack, stroke and death." I said, "When can you do it?" Because without it I'd die anyway. I didn't know if I would survive, but when I did, I had a long time to think about, what do I want to do? I realised it's true what they say, we're not here forever. If there's something that I want to do, I should do it, and I'm going to make it happen. And from that point, nothing could have deflected me from my goal. And the message I'd like to leave you with is, don't wait till it's too late. Because one day it will be.